You're listening to the Josh Parnell Leadership Podcast. We all have leadership within us, and once we understand how to challenge perceived limitations, we're able to influence those we're leading. Josh is a leadership coach, trainer, and speaker. He's also a veteran of the United States Air Force with over 20 years of leadership experience. Are you ready to transform your leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results? Let's get ready for liftoff. It's time to go from great to greater. Here's Josh in today's episode.
Welcome to the Josh Parnell Leadership Podcast. Once again, I'm excited that you're joining us today. Today I have a fun guest on the episode. This is a guest I've known for the majority of my life, and I've known her entire life because our guest today is my sister, Jessica Parnell. Jessica is also the newest member of the Limitless leadership team. She's joining us as a fitness coach. She's also a dog mom and a fellow Texan living in Austin, so she's an Austinite. Today's guest, as I mentioned, Jessica Parnell. Jessica, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
Well, Jessica, I'm excited that you're on this episode. As you know, this is another episode in our series of how we can level up. We've talked about sharpening our axe and working on ourselves personally and professionally on a regular basis. But of the 5 areas that we've talked about leveling up in, we've talked about spiritually, emotionally, academically. Now we're talking about leveling up physically. And so I'm excited for you to join us because you are really good at what you do. And what you do is you are leveling up physically on a daily basis. And so I really can't think of a better guest to have than you to be able to share with our audience what are the ways that we can level up our life on a physical basis. But before we begin, go ahead and share with the audience who you are. Tell us all about Jessica Parnell.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, like to say, I'm very excited to be on your show. As you know, this is my first time being on a podcast or really in front of the camera or microphone at all. So bear with me, guys. But I'd also say that I'm especially excited for you, Josh, because for the 3rd week in a row, you get the pleasure of saying that you now have your favorite guest on your podcast.
That's fair. That's fair. I respect that.
But yeah, so I'm Jessica. I'm 33 years old right now. Born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Go Tigers. Raised in Katy, Texas. Been in Austin for just over a decade now. Like you were saying, I'm a mama of 2 fur babies. And one of my biggest pastimes is fitness.
And I'll tell you, something that I want to share with the audience is, Jessica, you entered your first fitness competition back in 2020, I believe. Is that correct?
2021.
2021. And you entered your first competition, and you crushed the competition. Like, you did amazing.
Thank you.
And I got to witness from afar the prep work that you put in, just the physical transformation and also there's got to be a mental transformation there as well, because it's not an easy task to do, to enter that competition and then win it the way that you did. I am going to ask that you share that experience, but before that, tell us about what got you into fitness to begin with.
So it's funny because the first time that I stepped into a gym was actually when I moved to Austin. I felt like I needed a change, so that's why I moved. And I stepped foot in the gym. I had no idea what I was doing. And when I say gym, I mean it was like a neighborhood, apartment kind of gym where nobody was there. It was not myself. But I started going to be more active and everything. And that's kind of when Instagram was all the fitness models and everything were kind of coming out, at least from what I saw. And so I see these girls posting in perfect lighting and doing their little butt workouts. And I was like, I want to look like that. And so I really started for more surface level reasons. It's I want to look like that. And I was copying what these girls were doing, but I wasn't really seeing any kind of results that I was looking for. But then fast forward to now, I feel like now for me, fitness is the way I can get control of my life. I wake up first thing in the morning, I take control of my day, I do what I want to do, work out, it helps get my head right, helps set me up for my day. And then I can just feel good. I mean, my endorphins start releasing first thing in the morning. It's just like, it's like an addiction to me now. Like, I just feel good.
Jessica, how important is fitness to other aspects of your life?
It's very important because I'm a firm believer of how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So if you're sloppy with your fitness, you're not gonna be 100% with your relationships, with your work, with anything that you do in life. Like, it's your mental health, everything. It all aligns together. So it's extremely important.
So let's talk to the person who you were a decade ago, who had never stepped foot into a gym at this point, and they're looking for a change, but they don't know where to start. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to undergo some kind of physical transformation, or at the very least, just start leveling up physically? What advice would you give to someone who's starting?
Just get moving. Just do something. Start small. Like, you don't have to go immediately to the gym and start doing deadlifts, right? But just start small. You want to incorporate some sort of movement in your daily routine, and make it a part of your day, like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. Like, just get moving. Whether you go walk around your neighborhood, or join a yoga studio, or people are playing pickleball now.
Yeah.
Apparently, pickleball is a huge craze in this nation.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is, or like what a pickleball even looks like, or why people are playing with pickles anyway. But it's just do something that keeps you moving, gets you going. And people tell me that, like, pickleball, people like the community aspect of it. So, like, surround yourself with people who are motivated to be moving themselves, right? But yeah, just
start, right? I'm hearing
exactly.
You say just start, just take action. So you mentioned that when you first started, you highlighted the fact that there was no one else around. Like, there was, like, hey, I started in an apartment gym,
basically, yeah.
And so I'm thinking about individuals who maybe they're a little reluctant or maybe even intimidated to go to a gym or to go somewhere where there's other people around who it looks like they know what they're doing, but maybe I don't. So what advice would you give to the person who is like, look, I mean, I can go for a walk around the neighborhood. That's one thing, but I don't even know what a deadlift is. I don't even know where to begin with. Like, what does it look like to move my body with weights? And I've never done this before.
So a lot of people, I feel like, are intimidated by the gym because, like you said, like, it looks like everybody knows what they're doing. People are judging you or whatever. Nobody's judging you, I promise you. Nobody is.
You're right.
But just go. Even if you just go to stretch and watch people kind of see what they're doing, or go to a machine that you know how to do it. Go on that machine and pay attention to the other machines, what other people are doing on those machines that you don't know how to do.
And this also is a great, reason also to look for a coach too. I mean, we mentioned that we just brought you on board the Limitless leadership team as a fitness coach. If you want to start somewhere, but you don't know where to begin, hire a coach. Find someone who can pour into you and invest in you and help you level up in a way that you just don't know how to do it yet. For a lot of us, we just don't know what we don't know. And being able to work with a coach can get you further. There's a phrase I use often in my own coaching, which is, we can go fast alone, but we can go further together. And an analogy that I like to share is how, with a coach, it's really the equivalent of, like, if I'm going to try to go somewhere on my own, but I don't really know where I'm going or how to do it yet, it's kind of like getting in a boat and starting to row from point A to point B. But with a coach, this person already has the knowledge, the experience. They've already gone through a lot of the unanswered questions that you currently have. So it's almost like, hey, let's skip the boat. Let's get in a jet, and we're going to go from point A to point B much quicker. So having a coach can always help in the process. I want to go back, Jessica, to the fitness competition that I alluded to earlier. I mentioned that you entered this fitness competition, and you entered the wellness division. And it was really quite an experience, again, just from me being able to see you really just, I saw a level of discipline that was unmatched. I saw someone who was determined, who was clearly focused on the end in mind. Walk us through that experience. What did it take for you to be able to really undergo all this prep work just to eventually land that top prize, if you will, in the competition?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? It was quite the experience, definitely. There's a lot that goes into, like I said, a lot of discipline, physically, mentally, emotionally, every aspect really. It takes a lot, and you face a lot of adversity. You learn how to overcome a lot of adversity. What
kind of adversity, if I had to put you on the spot, like what kind of adversity are you referencing?
I mean, so with prep, you're hungry all the time. You're tired all the time. You're in so much pain all the time. And it's like, sometimes you feel like you just can't do it. Like you just like, I give up. I just want to give up. It's just too much. But then you just keep going because you just take one day at a time and you just keep going and get that end result.
You're truly pushing yourself past limits that you were putting on yourself. And I say limits that you're putting on yourself because in our minds, for a lot of us, we have a limitation. We tell ourselves, well, this is as much as I can do. And all of a sudden, our body or our mind will push us a little bit further, much to our surprise. But we realize, I mean, there's a reason why the company is called Limitless Leadership. We want to push ourselves to limits that we never thought possible. I imagine that as much of a physical toll as a competition is taking on your body, talk about the mental aspect of this.
So I'll say it's a very selfish sport because your world revolves around you at that point. Whether you have family, kids, spouse, whatever, you are your top priority, right? You have to make sure that you eat every 3 hours, and you have to go to bed early, this on the other. So like my prep was during the holiday season. So like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all that. And I'll say it really sucks to like be at a Christmas party or family events and like have like a buffet of food and all your family and friends there, and like you're standing there eating cold chicken and rice. But you have to stay focused, and you have to be very strong mentally because it's tough. It's tough.
So mentally, clearly you are developing some mental fortitude. There's a level of mental resilience that you're developing as well. Let's shift to the nutrition side of things. If I had to ask you, Jessica, what percentage of leveling up physically would you place on nutrition? Meaning, some people will say, well, it's 80% nutrition and 20%, in the gym or working out rather. What percentage would you say is the two?
I would actually kind of agree with that because you can lift weights or do your cardio, whatever you do every day. But if you don't pay attention to what you put in your body, you're not going to get the results that you're hoping for. Mm-hmm. Our culture is so driven around fast food and all these processed foods, and you don't realize how all this adds up and affects your body. And with like when you eat like a clean diet, chicken, rice, or just eat just normal food, people look at you like, oh, you're on a diet. Like, no, I'm just eating food. But
okay, so there's an 80-20 rule essentially is what you're sharing with me. Like you believe that for the most part, 80% nutrition, 20% working out. For someone who's like, hey, that's great, I'm willing to commit to really focusing on my diet, but I don't know where to start. What advice would you give to that person?
Well, it's definitely not a one size fits all, right? So definitely hire a coach, and they can help you with your diet, how to achieve whatever result you're looking for, whether you want to burn fat, gain muscle, if you want to, grow different ways. There's all these different ways you can change up your diet to see the results. So definitely just hire a coach and help them, we can guide you with that.
And I think also it's important to know that like nobody really knows your body like you do. And I'm just going to speak for myself for a second and say that over the course of my life, if I'm trying to eat right, I know what foods work for me and what foods don't work for me. If I listen to my body, then I also know, even working out, like I know what things work and what things don't if I do it enough. Okay, so Jessica, so far we've just kind of glazed over the beginner. We've glazed over the intermediate, if you will, because we talked about just getting started. We talked about just getting started all the way to entering a competition. Let's talk to someone who is currently moving, currently active, and looking to just maintain a routine. And really sustainability is the direction I'm trying to go in here. What gets measured gets managed. How can we manage the progress that we're making?
I would say one major piece of advice that I have is to take pictures. Stop focusing on the scale, stop focusing on the numbers, and take pictures, because in most cases, you're not going to notice any kind of progress because you see yourself every day, right?
So you're telling us don't weigh yourself on a daily basis. I got a lot of people who I've heard before like, no, I weigh myself in the morning and at night every single day. Why not paying attention to the scale?
Because the scale doesn't matter. So you could, and I'll actually show you a picture if you want to see. So I weighed. Can you show a photo on your?
Yep.
So I weighed right here, the same in both these photos right here.
Okay.
And these are two completely different body types.
So for the listener, if you are listening to this episode is also on YouTube, and there's a picture of what she's describing on YouTube. So, okay, two different pictures, two different body types, but same weight.
Exact same number.
So for someone saying, well, that's great, but I want to know how much I'm weighing, I want to see the progress, why are we still saying no to the scale?
I think it's okay to take tangible, to like take something tangible and write it down what you weigh. I think that's okay, but don't let that dictate anything, right? So it's going to discourage you.
Okay.
What's important is to actually see what you're changing physically. So, because you're going to put on muscle if you're working out, which muscle we all know weighs more than fat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say that taking pictures is important, because you're going to see the little changes, the little differences, and that's going to actually motivate you to keep going.
How often are we taking pictures?
However often you want. You take them every day, once a week.
Okay, so then the recommendation is to stop focusing on the number and start focusing on the physical transformation that you see. And you can take pictures every single day to see this.
Yeah, every day, every couple of days. But I would say at least do it once a week, because you, like I said, you may not notice any kind of results within a few weeks. But if you put two photos, if you start working out in week 1, this is your picture, and then in week 3, you're going to see some results. You're going to see some changes.
Good. And I'll say this too. If you don't see the changes that you want, keep going. You're going through something to ultimately grow through something. And for a lot of us, we just overestimate what we can accomplish in a short amount of time, and we underestimate what we can accomplish in a longer period of time. And the key here, I think, with anything in life, but again, leveling up physically, the key is consistency. We got to be consistent, and we got to keep on going in order to keep on growing.
I think a lot of people, the problem is they keep focusing on the end result when you should be focusing on the process.
So good. Okay, let's touch on this for a second, because I love that you brought this up. I think for a lot of folks, if we're thinking about, in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, one of the 7 habits that I talk about quite often is beginning with the end in mind. So we can very quickly determine a goal, and that's the end in mind. The goal is, I want to lose 10 pounds this year and, trim waistline and whatever, right? Well, what steps are we going to take in order to get to that goal? So speak to the steps that you're taking, not just from a working out perspective, not just from a nutrition perspective. Talk about how important sleep is in relation to being able to achieve the end result that you're referencing.
Yeah, it's all a lifestyle. Really, at the end of the day, you just want to take care of your body. You want to take care of your body because you're going to take care of your mind as well. So sleep is extremely important, because you can eat clean and work out, but then if you don't get enough sleep, you're still going to damage your body. You need to, like I said, it's a lifestyle. So incorporate everything. Just be a healthier person all around.
So Jessica, you mentioned that it is a lifestyle. We know that part of the lifestyle, as you've already touched on, is how we can work out, how we can eat right. Taking care of yourself extends beyond just eating right and working out. Taking care of yourself also means from a mental and emotional standpoint. Let me ask you, what does self-care look like specifically for you? Like, what do you do for self-care?
Yeah, so it's definitely part of the lifestyle, like you said. So, I mean, for me, I like to get massages done. It feels good, and it obviously helps heal your muscles too. I like to get my nails done and my hair done. I like to
Like feel good.
exactly look good, feel good.
Yep.
So it's that's pretty important to me.
Well, I think also like if you're doing these things, not just to look good, feel good, but like you're taking care, you're treating yourself, right? I mean, you're pampering yourself essentially. I've got to imagine you feel a level of confidence that you didn't have before. So for the listener who is thinking, hey, you know what? I want to level up physically. I want to have an accountability partner and a coach who can help me achieve all my fitness goals, but I'm not sure what that looks like. Can you share with the audience, what does a fitness coach look like compared to a personal trainer? What's the difference, and how can you help as a fitness coach?
Yeah, so a personal trainer is going to be with you there at the gym to help you with your workouts, and then you're kind of already done with it.
Sure.
But as your fitness coach, I can help you with guidance and direction on how to like create like a more balanced, active lifestyle, just become healthy all the way around. So what we'll do is we'll do weekly calls, check-ins. I'll help you with your workouts. We can go over nutrition plans, because it's not like, it's one thing to go to the gym and get your workout in, but it's also like what you do outside of the gym too. That's going to create the results that you're looking for.
So there's some accountability there that you can provide. And I love that you're talking about guidance and direction. I think the two things that every person needs in any relationship, especially professionally, is clarity and direction. And I think with a coach, that's something that you are really good at doing, is providing clarity and direction. And I'll tell you, like, I know that you know what you're talking about. Like, you're really good at what you do. You're a great coach. Anyone who works with you would be lucky to work with you. And I'll say blessed. I don't know if I like the word lucky, but blessed to work with you because you're really good at what you do. And I love that Jessica, you're a great listener. You are someone who is very attentive and someone who's very intentional. And the beauty of working with someone like Jessica in the fitness coach world, if you will, is you're getting customizable plans. So you're working with someone who's going to understand what your fitness goals are, understand where you're at with your diet and the numbers you're trying to achieve as it relates to physically being fit, but also how to just help you with a better lifestyle in general. And so I'm excited for you. I'm excited that you're on the team. I'm excited for our audience who may be interested in working with you. For those listening who is interested in connecting with you, where can they connect with you?
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Jessica N. Parnell, or another way to say it is Jess I Can Parnell.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
But click the link in my bio. We can schedule a call and help you achieve your goals that you're looking for.
Excellent. Yes. So Jessica, the letter N, or Jess I Can Parnell. Did not know that until you said it. Very cool. Learn something new every day. Well, Jessica, hey, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Hopefully you're on much more than just this one time, but so glad you're on the episode today.
Thank you, Josh.
And thank you for tuning in to the Josh Parnell Leadership Podcast. Each episode, I try to bring you new ideas, new insights, and new information regarding all things leadership. So whether it's guests like Jessica or topics we can all relate to, like trying to level up physically, if you enjoy this podcast, I think you'll enjoy my book titled Leading a Legacy, which dives into how we can live today to make an impact for tomorrow. So the legacy that we lead determines the legacy that we leave. So as I sign off, I want to leave you with one more request and ask that you head on over to Amazon to purchase your copy of Leading a Legacy today. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. Don't forget to smile today. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. I'm Josh Parnell, reminding you to keep leading well.